Hey friends, welcome back to this channel. I want to challenge you with this. Are you tired of being stuck? Do you have some God ideas, some dreams, some visions that you just can't seem to get out into reality? Or is it confidence? What is it? What is keeping you stuck? Well, today I want to challenge you or I want to walk you through, I want to examine one of those areas. Time. Do you have the time to take your God ideas, take your dreams, take your visions, and make them into a reality? Well, I'm going to give you 5 time management tools and skills that you can use today to help you to take those God ideas, those dreams, those visions, those passions, and make them a reality. Don't die with them. Don't let the graveyard win. So let's go on a journey to understand and learn about these 5 time management skills. Before we dig into those 5 skills, I want you to remember this. Time is limited. No one on this earth has unlimited time. Ecclesiastes 3:1-2 says, there's a time for everything and a season for everything under the sun. The time to be born and a time to die. That's all we get. And we have to be wise with how we utilize that limited time we have. And one of the ways to be wise is to utilize time management and productivity skills so that you could find the time to do your God ideas, your dreams, and your visions, while at the same time you live life. It's a life skill. And maybe a lot of us are stuck because we're not properly utilizing the life skill of time management. Find the time for your dream, find the times for your passions while you're living life. So let's go into those 5 skills and tools. The first one is a tool I discovered several years ago, which has been very, very useful and helpful for me. It's called an ideal week. Think about that word, ideal. It means that if you had 100% control of your week, how would you spend your week? What would you do with the 168 hours that you have within a week? Because we all have 168 hours. And so an ideal week is determining how I will spend those 168 hours. It's a very powerful tool. Very powerful and very useful tool. The tool involves day themes. So on a Monday, what is my focus for that week, that day? On a Tuesday, what's my focus for that day? Like Saturdays. Saturdays is my errand. It's my focus on that day, or my theme for that day is tasks and errands. Sunday is my church day. I go to church doing other times of the week, but Sunday is my focus church day. It's my time when I gather with other believers for worship. It's also a day of rest for me. So in an ideal week, you're determining for my 168 hours what I plan to do within that week. Also in your ideal week, as you're going to see in this example, you have a block of time when I want to exercise. I have a blocks of time. So an ideal week is how you will spend 168 hours of your week if you had total control over it. And bear that in mind, if you had total control of it, which means we know stuff happen, life be lifing. So it means that we have to be flexible. It's not meant to be a rigid tool. It's meant to have flexibility. So you have to realize, have this mindset that even though I have this plan, things can happen. And so I be able to maneuver when things come my way, when I'm derailed, when I have struggles. I must be able to adjust. Number 2 tool or skill is to have planning, and this planning and preparation should be done on a monthly and daily basis. And you may say, why quarterly? Because it's easy to manage. When you take your year and you lock it up into quarters, like Q1 or quarter 2, Q2, Q3, Q4, and you just determine ahead, plan, you're living your life on purpose, and you've been plan driven rather than living your life reactive or living by the dictates of somebody else's agenda, somebody else's desire, somebody else's wants. And as believers, all of this should be infused by what we believe. And so we believe that we have a creator. We believe that we have a creator God who has inbuilt in us. We're born with purpose. So our life should be purpose driven. There's a reason why we're here on this earth. So we shouldn't be living reactive lives. And so the daily, the weekly, the quarterly planning is extremely important to help you to live a life purpose driven, on purpose, a life plan. So in one quarter, I plan the things, the errands, the projects, the tasks, the goals that I want to complete during that quarter. And I use different tools to, and this is covered in another video. When you set goals, I break up my goals into actions, and I determine during that quarter when I will do those actions. The same thing with a week. I choose a day ahead before the week starts, and I plan what I need to get accomplished during that week. I choose the day before, if I'm doing a daily planning, the day before. Or sometimes we may not be able to do it the day before. You could do it the first thing in that morning. I plan out what I want to do during that week. And so I'm living more purpose driven. I'm living more proactive rather than living a reactive is chaotic. It's challenging. So, number one, tool, ideal week. Number two, planning and making the necessary preparations on a daily basis. Living proactively rather than living. The third tool that we want to use. Remember, our whole objective is to be able to find time so that we can live out our dreams, our vision, our God ideas, and not die with them. Don't spend your whole life just living day after day, just going through the motion and not being reactive and not being proactive. Finding the time, managing your time, determining how you will spend your time. So a calendar, and a calendar is a very common tool. There's so many different calendars out there. There's so many options of calendars that you can use. And the whole idea of calendars is scheduling. You schedule blocks of time when you are going to when you're going to start that church. Whatever God has purposed you to do, you schedule time to do it on your calendar. And just like the ideal week, a calendar should have some flexibility. It should not be rigid. And because life happens, you have to be flexible. So the tool of a calendar involves 3 skills. What I refer to them as skills. Time blocking. And that's where you take blocks of time and you designate them to certain actions, certain errands, certain events, certain goals, projects that you need to do. Blocks of time. Define blocks of time in your calendar. And the beautiful thing about the calendar and these apps is you can be very, very creative. And the other skill I use with calendars is what I call time boxing. Is a little different, kind of close, but a little different than time blocking. It's basically where I designate that I'm going to complete. This is all the time I'm going to give to this task. So I want to complete this book within X amount of time. I want to complete this writing of this chapter. So I box out a block of time where I'm going to get it done. So that's time boxing. Very, very close, but you have to understand the subtle difference between the time blocking and set of blocks of time. And I get a various blocks of time for the same task. But time boxing is where I say that, but this block of time, this is when I'm going to get this specific time. Faster. And task batching is where I take a group of similar tasks. So during the day, I get emails, lots of emails, different emails. And I can decide throughout the day to keep checking emails, keep responding to emails, and that could consume my day. Or rather, I could say, so between this particular time period, I'm going to write. See the subtle difference? Time blocking tasks. That's task batching. And all of those are related to your calendar. So we covered ideal week. Number one, planning and preparation on a quarterly, weekly, and daily basis. That's number two. And then we look at the calendar. Okay. And in the calendar is schedule, is also the scheduling, the planning. And I want you to see the flow. Because an ideal week is where I think if I could control 100% of my 168 hours, what would I do with those 168 hours? So it's an ideal plan. The planning and preparation is on a quarterly, weekly, and daily basis. So it's planning out, mapping out all of the projects, all of the goals, all of the actions, all of the errands, all of the events that I want to complete on a quarterly, on a weekly, on a daily basis. And then the calendar, a powerful tool in helping you to live a proactive life. Because I'm now scheduling them, documenting when I'm going to complete my goals, when I'm going to complete my projects, when I'm going to complete tasks, specified periods of time. And I'm using skills of time blocking. I'm using the skill of task batching calendar. Number 4 in our journey is to have a 4 tool that you can use to live a life and where you managing your time and where you have, which will allow you to have time to do your God ideas, your dreams, and your visions, to bring them into reality. A task management system is basically a system in which you have all of your actions, all of your goals, all of your projects, all of your actions, all of your events, all of your errands, everything in this system that you need to get done on a quarterly, a weekly, and daily basis. So remember, in the quarterly, weekly, and daily planning is where you put together your plan. Well, this system is where you now take that plan and you dump that plan into the system. You have it electronically. You can use this system to track, schedule all of those items, the tasks, all of your actions, all of your goals. And so you have one system where all of this stuff is managed and where you can see completion and you can see status. It's a very, very powerful tool. And so a task management system is important, a very important tool for that. The last tool that you can utilize is review. It's a skill. It's actually a life skill because life be life and stuff be happen. Things are going to happen. You're going to encounter obstacles. You're going to encounter challenges. You're going to get derailed. And you need to be able to do this on a daily basis. In my daily planning and preparation, I've determined, using your task management system, the actions that I want to complete during my day. I have my to-do list for the day. But at the end of the day, pause and how effective was I today? What were my wins and losses? Did I get all of the things that I need to get done during the day? Did I get it done? And if you didn't get done, don't beat yourself up. Always be flexible. Don't beat yourself up. There's a reschedule. You reschedule it for another time, another day. And the next part of the review is on a weekly basis. Before my week start, plan out what I need to get done for that week. All of the actions for my goals and projects that I need to complete that week. Everything related to my family, related to my work, related to my church life, whatever areas of your life. On a weekly basis, conduct a review. All of the things that I intended to do, did I get it done? What prevented me from getting it done? Did I overplan? Did I put too much stuff to do in one week? Was I just too much stuff was going on? And all of those questions will give you answers as you plan your next week. So hey, pace yourself. Or maybe I should have added a little more stuff. Maybe there was so much stuff, so much other events going on. So having a daily, a weekly, and quarterly review is very important. A time to pause. I love sports, and one of the sports I watch, and I've not watched it in a while. Honestly, I'm not watching it in a long time. It's Formula One racing. It's a very, very intense, fast-paced. And in Formula racing, they have what's called a pit stop. And during the pit stop, the car stops and the engineers and the technicians, all of them come and they tend to the car. Make sure check the car gas, check the tire, put in gas, do repairs, do a little maintenance. Your life, you need a pit stop. And we're going to please check out the channel for a video on that, on pit stops. You need a pit stop daily, a pit stop weekly, a pit stop quarterly. And doing that pit stop is where you review, reflect, and make adjustments. And that's what a review does, a review period. And so all of these are powerful time management tools that you can utilize to find the time for your God ideas, your visions and dreams, while at the same time you live your regular, ordinary daily life, weekly life, quarterly life. So thank you so much for being a part of this video. And please, if you enjoyed this video or you learn anything or if this helped you in any way, please share it. And also, please subscribe and then check out the other videos related to this or other videos on this channel that are on the screen. And I want to challenge you. So as I end this video, I want to challenge you to do this. Make a decision. I am going to live my life purpose-driven. I'm going to live my life based on preparation, based on planning, proactively. Take one of these tools, any one of the 5 tools, and work on a specific area of your life. Take up this calendar, put together your calendar, plan out, map out your ideal week. Whatever one of those tools, start with one of them. And review the video and understand the tool, and then implement that tool in your life.